Okay, so let's send a challenge.
Here is challenging. Nice graphics, easy to see. Oh, what are you thinking about? You're looking how it can be the most painful?
Exactly. Okay, fine.
That I give up a phone. He wants to be even rude.
Welcome to the new Chess24 playing experience. Play in light mode or dark mode. Choose from a range of time controls or create a custom game. And get paired with players from around the world, fast. Enjoy a polished playing experience while making moves on a fresh, responsive board to claim your victories. Train and improve with over 80,000 puzzles. And that's not all. Download now and discover what more you can enjoy in our brand new app.
He played the Berlin, which I sort of expected, but I didn't really know what to do against, because in reality very few people do.
When we are playing an even game against someone of similar strength to us, usually we need to give something in order to obtain the initiative.
Just how shrewd and cunning Alireza can be, even with very little time.
I want to show you a game just to prove that I play these lines that I played against former world number 2 and a bit of a superstar, Gatakamsky.
Throughout the whole course, there were a lot of rotations. This one game I was playing against strong Czech Grandmaster, Indian International Master Bharat.
Magesh took over in his group classes. Once he reached
this kid, is super talented.
He's really good at calculating. He's really good at the openings.
I think 2700 is gettable in another 3 years.
Welcome to another Banter Blitz session with me today. So I played one on Wednesday and I'm doing another one today. So feel free to challenge me, 3 minutes. We can do some bullet as well. If you prefer 3+2, we can also do that. So just feel free to challenge. Okay, so we have the first game against Alexander from Denmark. Let's try e6 here. Knight b5. Let's try bishop c5. A slightly sharp line. Not so popular. So some people don't know about it. I think bishop f4 is the best way to play. And black goes e5 here. Knight f5. I think king f8, bishop g5, and d6, I guess. d6 makes a lot of sense because if you go h6, it takes, and then knight d5. So yeah, I think this is supposed to be the move. White can play like bishop e2 here. I think just allow bishop f5, ef5, or he can play like bishop c4. It's a very strange position in a way that black has the king on f8. And so this move, it looks logical, but there is bishop takes f2 in this position, which had to be calculated. And yeah, I think it's I should go for it because if he takes, we have knight takes e4, so he has to try king e2. But on king e2, I guess we can just take on f5, and then we have like knight d4 stuff. I think knight d5 was just a tactical mistake from him. Knight d4 looks pretty good. So yeah, so if he takes the bishop, we have knight e4, and then we win the bishop. We're already a pawn up. King e3. Then the question is if we can take with the queen on g5. We probably can. Goes king e1. This is just a lost position now because not only is he a pawn down, but his king is actually also very weak. It's very hard to make any move here because these two knights take all the squares. Bishop can also not move because of queen takes g2. Queen d3, I guess that was the best move, but now it's now it feels like puzzle rush time. Okay, queen h4, I guess. g3, knight takes g3. So if queen takes g3, we have queen e4, and then we pick up the rook. Either way, we will end up with a huge material advantage. Knight e4 was maybe better. But, yeah, he was just blunder from his side with knight d5. Let's go to the next one. Let's play Let's play Mushy from Spain. Let's try e5 this game. e4, e5, knight f3, knight c6. Should c4, knight f6. Sometimes in these positions when like your opponent plays h3 and you play h6 and they castle too early, you can play, and you haven't castled yourself, you can play like g5 in these positions. And that's only because white has played h3. Like it can be interesting to, if you have opponent castle, to go g5, g4, you have a target and then play like rook g8. So in this position it made some sense. Now if it takes, we have bishop takes g4 with an annoying pin. Knight h2. g3 is a kind of cool move, but it's probably just stupid after knight f3. I guess the normal move is just to take on h3. Yeah. Not really keen on taking on e3 because then the f file gets open up. So I guess I'm just gonna go like h5, maybe play for knight g4. Goes knight d5. Let's just take it. Knight e7. Takes here, but I guess can also take on d5 and then take on c5. Queen d6, and then I will play for bishop d7 and castle long. So if you castle now, you can probably take on f7. So it makes sense to play f6 first. Now castle. I think he just played a bit too passive because now it's just a pawn down. h4 is also coming. Okay. Bishop g4 is also another move to improve the pawn structure. He has to take, and then we get rid of the double pawns. Okay, this just loses the exchange. f4 was a stupid move. I forgot that he could take on h3 here. But it's still just winning because we're so much material up. If rook takes, we just go rook g2, and then we should go rook e2, I guess, but we can play like, yeah, I shouldn't give the f2 pawn. Rook e8. So we get the Dutch opening, and this queen d3 move is not as stupid as it looks actually, because it forces black to make a decision, like which setup he wants to go for with g6 or e6. Now that he has committed to d5, bishop f4 makes a lot of sense, because the bishop is usually strong on f4 when black has played f5 and d5, because you take the important squares. Just play. Okay, I'm just gonna play this in a little London system way. I guess queen c7 makes a lot of sense to force me to decide on the bishop on f4. I think you should just take back on c5, because taking here would just help me that because I control the e5 square more. Now he's threatening e5, so I have to be careful about that. c4 is actually a move here, because we can meet e5 with c takes d5. Let's actually just go for it. Now that I think about it, it was probably stupid, because e5 take on d5 take on f4 take on c6, he can take on e3, and that just works out for him. But now we're doing well. Knight b4 was a bad move, because now he cannot play e5, and the knight is not really doing anything on b4. Let's just play like rook c1, a4, maybe queen c3. And I'm threatening to take here. Should probably play like b6 or something to protect his bishop. We can play d4, but then we can take, and then we take on c5. If he plays like b6, I think I should just play like bishop g3 as soon as possible to not fall for any tactics here with d4. Maybe he's even considering to sacrifice with rook f4 to get like d4, d3, but I don't think it's really enough. bishop d6 was a bad move because now he had to. Now he had to give up the strong bishop. This bishop on c8 is pretty bad because it's just behind the e6 pawn. And now bishop d6 wins the exchange. These pawns looks nice, but c7 pawn is also not so bad. Let's just go here. And this becomes a threat because we have like queen takes c5 and queen d8, and the c pawn wins the game. Let's play against Yup. We also played him like 2 days ago, so he's always a classic opponent in this Banter blitzes. If he's here, feel free to also ask questions in the YouTube chat, so I will reading those. Okay, maybe Yup is not here, so let's accept somebody else. About the Zook from Germany, he goes e3. Let's play, I don't know, f5. So my plan here is to just try to roll on the king side with like g5, e5, and so on. And c2 we can play like a5, knight a6. Okay, now it's time for e5. And usually black, if he will close it with e4 and then just go like g5, f4, King's Indian style. White can always take on e5, but the good thing now is that the knight on a6 finds a square on c5. Knight a4. Okay, that's an interesting move. Now he wants to occupy the b6 square. That was well played. Maybe I should play like e4 here. Knight d4, I guess. Then we have to deal with this knight b6. which is actually not so easy. Okay, let's just go knight c7 for now. I'm not really sure actually. Just let's play knight c7, knight b6, rook b8. But I haven't played this well. I think you can just play like b4 and white should be better. Especially in these positions, it's always like without the line square bishop, the attack is not so strong. I think c5 was not a great move because that was kind of what I was hoping for. Let's play king h7 for now. Take knight d5. Should just play b5, I think. I will try for some f4. Yeah, f4. F3. Should be very dangerous for white. Because all his pieces are on the queen side. So once his king side opens up, it's gonna be this just gives away a piece. Just take it and okay, let's take this one too. Queen e7 next, I guess, and then try for queen g5. Can take, but we have queen c7 there. Queen e2, we have knight c3. Okay, this queen f5. Yeah, I was not great played in the end. Just had to play fast. Okay, let's play. Looks like Alexander Morozevich, so we're gonna have a tough time. He also plays like Morozevich style in the opening, like gambits. So must be him. So let's go bishop d2, bishop a6. Not sure how white was supposed to play this. It was e5 here, or just not f3. Okay, let's just play knight f3. I'm not sure. Well, he will probably just take on e2 and play like d6. Knight d7, we will go a4, we play for knight b5, which is like typical plan in this Benko positions. Queen a6 is also very typical. Like, you might wonder that black is a pawn down, why does he want to trade the queens? But the point here is that, like, if white trades the queens, black gets like rook b8 fast, and he gets good control on some important squares. That being said, it's not so easy to avoid it, really. I'm going to try knight b5. It's probably not good, but going to take on e4. Okay, that was a bad move. Should have taken on e4. If I get to maneuver like knight d2, knight c4, that's then black is not going to have so much opposition. He should probably play for like knight b6. He should act fast. Rook b8 is too slow. I think the rook was well placed on a8. Should still probably go for like knight b6 and just knight c4. Knight f4. We always have like queen g4. Now the knight is just very strong on b5, and it also takes a lot of important squares. So it's very hard for black to do anything. And e5 is coming, so didn't get that counterplay on the queen side. f5 maybe. Let's try to bring over the rook. All his pieces are on the queen, so it makes a lot of sense to play g4 and open his king up. And now this is just mate, like he cannot stop rook h8. Okay, now that we played Morozevich, it's time to play the student of Kramnik. Let's see what he has learned, if he's here. Yeah, it's probably having a lesson right now, so we should move on to the next one. Shadowmate. I think I also played him in Banter Blitz before. Let's try C4. Knight f6, knight c3. Black has a lot of moves in that position. A6 is actually, I think, the only move probably I haven't seen before. Like kind of d6 or take on d4, you can go like knight g4. I'm not sure what the a6 exactly does. Let's just play knight c2. It's very typical in these positions because you don't want black to trade. It's just usually when you have more space, you would like to keep the pieces. It's like general rule. And white has more space here, so black would be happy to trade. Can play bishop e6. I think we can play b3 there because cannot really take on e4 because we can take back. Can I g4? Bishop d2, maybe he goes b5, but then we can maybe sacrifice. But I should still think you should go for b5 because I can sacrifice the exchange, but I'm not sure that's enough. Knight d4 is it's an interesting move, but I think I can just take it and play like h3. The bishop is actually kind of stupid on d4 because it will just get hit in a lot of positions. It should just be on g7, but now that the knight will go to f6 or e5, it cannot any longer go to g7. Should probably play like knight e5, but we can play rook c1 there. Or like queen e2. Knight d3 is a move. We'll just go rook b1 and then queen e2. Knight c6. Let's just jump to this square. Like if it takes, we take with the e pawn and then we get some nice play on the e5. Queen d7, let's just play king h2. As long as b5 is not possible, white is happy, and now it's not possible because we can take and then take the knight to c6. So I'll follow up with f4. Yeah, just f5 as well. So the point now is that if it takes, I think I have this trick rook f6. And it works out tactically for me because it takes the rook, he loses the queen, but if it takes the knight, we take here first and then we protect the rook with he takes d5. Not really keen on trading the queens because I want to deliver mates. So let's go bishop e4. h1. Now this is a threat. It's mate by force. Okay. Let's see if Mariam Fatima is here. Does not look like it. Bishop e3, let's go knight d7. Trying to regain the pawn. Usually white just goes knight f3 here, and I guess this is also a move. Let's go knight e7, knight c6. Or knight f5. f4. Let's go knight f5, bishop f2. I have a feeling this is not the right way to play for white. Like it's a bit too slow, like spending too many tempos, f4 and then moving the bishop again. So I'm not sure how to punish it. Like a6 maybe takes, bishop takes, and then we get back to c5 pawn. But he might take and go like g4. With g4 we have d4 actually, it's already very strong. Let's just go for it. He just has to take and go like knight f3 and castle short. Because a move like bishop d3 is maybe something he would like to consider, but then there was d4. h3, but I can just take on c5 because it doesn't really have b4. We take on f2. So he can actually take with the queen because he can meet d4 with b4. He's not losing a piece. But that being said, it's still I think a very dangerous position for whites because he just hasn't castled. He didn't get any pieces out. Like I think bishop c6 here. White is totally busted actually. Like knight h3 is also about to come. b6 first, perhaps, and then knight h3, knight h3. Has to take with the queen, and then I think we just castle, and then we pick up something. Just a knight on e3 is like it's like a total monster. I really don't want to trade the queens, but I don't think I have a choice. So yeah, I guess I have to do it. Yeah, it's definitely not the best technique here. Let's see if there's any. We can do some. We can do some bullets. If you want to challenge me for bullet, that would also be fun. Let's see if more from Colombia is here. It is. Can play c5 here. I guess white will take it. But I want to take with my knight on c5, so that's why I play knight d7 first. Knight e5 is a slightly strange move because I think we can just take it and trade queens, and his structure is kind of ruined, I guess. Has to go f4 here in order to not lose a pawn. Yeah, just let's just castle. At some point play c5, push the pawns. I don't really want to allow him to play a5, so I play a5 myself. So this, but I think we can just push the pawns. Knight b5, we go c4, bishop c2. Can actually consider b3 here because the bishop has to go to b1, which is a very sad square. It's not clear if it's actually coming out. The bishop did get out, but it did cost him an important pawn. Now this position is very tough with because my passed pawns are going to be very strong. Bishop d4, I think he has to play because if we trade, it's very bad. Yeah, b2 is next. It's a pity for that is a check, otherwise he would mate me. Let's play Mons Zade. I think I've played her before. Always in both, I guess. Let's play queen d6 to unpin. d4, we have knight e4. Which was pretty important because otherwise it would not look great. We'll take this pawn. Slowly but surely getting outplayed here. Oh, I really thought she would take on d5. Let's run. Yeah, it was lucky. I'm not used to play bullet these days. That was not the greatest game. Let's play. That's you? You should have won against me, actually. Too strong. Yeah, I was lucky. You're completely winning. I think. Yeah, I was lucky to have this king g6. Otherwise, yeah, it would be mate. I couldn't even like protect with my queen because you had like knight f8. So yeah, that was fun. Thanks. So actually, we have Hans Niemann, who challenged for bullet as well, but that's 3 months ago, unfortunately. It would be great to play him. So let's try to play against Mikael Tal. Didn't have that many bullet matches. I couldn't find any, so had to settle for Blitz instead. So we have this like typical endgame, which very often arises after like queen b3, queen b6. Black usually wants to go like b5, b4, but it's not easy to do it here. Let's start with just developing. That can't be bad. h3, that's a good move. Let's play like h6. Maybe we'll expand with g5. Bishop is not doing so much here. Let's play g5, maybe bishop f5. Yeah, you can play knight c4, but then I think you can play b5. With knight b6, we have like rook a6, rook a6. On knight d2, we can actually consider c4 here because we have decent control over the light squares. Perhaps e5 is also logical to try to get it, but you should play like bishop f1 or something and play for e4. d5 is an option, but then it's a bit hard to proceed for me after that. I don't know if I should go for e5 or d5, but e5, e4, bishop g6, d5. I'm not sure how that position is, but is the bishop on h2, it's really bad. I think here should I go for e4, d5, because now my bishop can get like to c5, but his bishop is just like dead on h2. Okay, rook d1. Like knight d7, knight c5. Shouldn't blunder any tricks here. Knight e4, we can maybe try. Knight a4 I was hoping for, but maybe he has knight d6, or we can take on b2. We'll see. Probably take on b2 actually. Rook d2, it becomes like such a mess, everything is hanging, but I think we can play e4 there. No, sorry, we cannot play e4 because then the bishop protects. But okay, this one was not the best. I should have tried rook d2 here, but it's a bad position because he lost the important pawn, and the bishop on h2 is like still a bad piece. Let's see if Reza is here from Iran. It's not here actually. So let's take somebody else. Bar from Iraq. Okay, he's also not here, but I saw somebody We can play like Ops Kitty challenge me, and we played him last time too. Let's play Ops Kitty. Oh, he plays actually the Shkara variation, which is maybe one of my favorite openings actually, because it's black sacrifices a pawn and it gets very messy. Sorry, not messy, but it gets like we get action immediately. So white has like two choices to go queen a4 and then take the pawn, or to take immediately. Knight f6 is. Black is supposed to play knight f6 first, because this pawn cannot really be taken because of knight c6. Black sacrifices two pawns without like a huge development advantage. Knight c6, let's play. Knight c6 was not supposed to be good, but I don't remember why. Okay, let's try this move maybe. Let's try h3. We can take, we take, and then we can maybe take on f6. I should have started with knight f3. It was a bit stupid to take. And that queen takes f6 was I think a very bad move. You have to take g takes f6. Because without the queens I'm never in danger really. Rook g8, let's play e3. The knight is very well placed on d4. It takes like a lot of important squares. For instance, this c2 square, and like this restricts this bishop. So it's a very strong piece here. And this one, I think we just take it and play g3 and down. Black will never have any compensation. There's king d2, so castings as still allowed. Just play f3. It's like g4. f5. Wow. Didn't expect that, but it's like such a black doesn't have any move startup, so it's very hard to come up with something. Now he loses the piece of rook g5. He had to play like f6, but it's or sorry, king f6 maybe, but it's still like 2 pawns down. Thanks for the game, Obskitty. Let's play against Reza in Bullets this year. Doesn't it doesn't seem like it. Yeah, he challenged me after 10 minutes ago, so I thought maybe he would be here. Let's play against Monkey King that's a few seconds ago from China actually. So yeah, he's here. D4 out of 6. C4, let's try the Grunfeld. Black has like so many different setups here. It's always difficult to choose. Like I think Black has almost 10 moves here or something. Like B6, Bishop G4, Bishop D7, E6, Knight A5, Queen C7. Let's go. I don't know. Here maybe. Very often Black goes to G4 first to provoke F3 and then goes back to D7. I'm not sure why the pawn is bad on F3. Okay, F4. F4 is a rare move actually. I haven't I know it exists, but it's not supposed to be so good here. But that being said, I'm not sure exactly why. I think it's probably because of Bishop G4. But then we should probably take first. I guess we should take first. And then Bishop G4. Yeah. I think he has to play like E5 here to not lose a pawn. But if he plays E5, we get some nice squares, so it's not something Black is too unhappy with. Like Rook C8 maybe. This is a strange move. Just gives up the pawn. F5, guess he wants to mate me or something, but I don't think there is any mate here. We can consider to take on A1, but I'm not sure. Not sure it's needed. If he takes, we're pretty happy about that because then we can just play E6. And this bishop is not great at all. He should have kept the position like play Rook D1 or something, because then E6 he could at least take and the bishop would hit something. But when the pawn is on F7, it would just be a bad bishop. Rook d7 now. I think we can just play rook c7. And now, not only am I a pawn up here, but also the white king is very weak, in fact, because of these pawns. He's threatening bishop takes e6, so that's something to be careful about. But my king is much safer. Like, I don't have any problem with my structure. And this pawn is also gonna be eventually a weakness. Queen d3, a6. I don't know why I played like this. That was very stupid. If I've played psychological moves in classical, yeah, I would definitely say so. I think that the psychological aspect is also a very important part of the game. Like, especially if you have a hopeless position or something, it's important to try to use the psychological part in a way. Let's try Yup again if he's here. Yeah, I agree, Yash, Joshi. King h1 in exactly that position was actually quite strange. But in general, it's like you don't know if it's going to be how long time it will take before the endgame arises. So you can always bring it back later. But if it's in a middle game position, it's safer to have the king on h1 and g1, of course. But it depends. But usually you shouldn't be worried that it's too far from the center in an endgame, because you can always bring it back, and it's more important to have it on a safe square in the middle game, let's say. Okay, I was talking too much, so I lost some time, but it's fine. Knight c3. Rook a7, that's interesting way to play. Let's just develop, I guess. Can't be too bad. E6. Black looks fine though if we just castle on bishop d2, so I wanted to look for something more concrete, but I'm not sure if it's there, like g4 here or something. I mean, if he has to move the h pawn, I think we're very happy about that, because then we take on g6, and if he has to take with f1, that structure is very bad for black. And if he takes and moves the knight, we have like h5 winning the piece. So yeah, okay, he goes for this, but pretty happy about that. We just queen c2. Bishop g3 is never dangerous. We just go king f1, king g2, and king is very safe on g2. King f7, we have bishop d3. So he, yeah, I think he did something wrong there. Like, bishop to 95 should probably have played like h6 or something. F4 is also a threat to win the piece, so he actually has to go back, which is kind of sad. Yeah, I'm not sure about knight c3. Was not a great move. Let's go back. Knight c4, we have bishop c1, so that's nothing to be afraid of. And then we can play b3. Yeah, just going back and forth with my knights. Yeah, I think three pawns is too much, even in opposite color bishops. Okay. Okay, let's play You Must Lose This, folks. Also a classic opponent in this Banter business. I've played it many times before, so it's always happy to see him challenge. Let's play c5. So we have a sharp Sicilian here. Usually white castles goes like rook e1, king h1, and tries to kill black on the king side. But lone castle in this position is actually very rare, I think. Although it's similar in like different types of setups, but exactly here, I'll try to do something on the queen side. Play bishop e7. But it's again, I think it's a like regular race g4, g5, and we will try to. It's just a matter of who is first. Okay, so how to do this? Knight c5 was the move I was thinking about, because if he takes, we get some dangerous pawns on the queen side, but it doesn't really have to take. Like he can go h5, I guess. With h5, maybe we can try for something like knight a4 to be clever. Like takes, and then knight b4 or something. But he should, yeah, I think he ignores it and plays g6. I think that should be good for me, because I take on c3 and doesn't want that structure. So we can play a3 or knight b4. Knight b4 looks fine, I guess. Taking and playing e5 is also kind of interesting, actually. I'm not really like that, but let's go knight b4. I kind of regret my choice, because now I gave him g6. I think I should have taken and played e5. Gotta get mated here, probably. So if he takes, we just go king h8. We definitely don't want to touch that pawn on h7. f5, that's yeah, that he just blundered. It's hanging on a2. I don't think he should have taken f7 either. Probably take on h7 and do something. Rook g1 or. Yeah, b3 was maybe the best move, but now this position is just hopeless. I had to take with the pawn, but then we would take on b3, and white is the one that's getting mated. Okay, I think that's it for today. Thanks a lot for everybody who challenged me. It's been a pleasure. I will be back for like Q&A session on Sunday. So hope to see you guys. Hope to see you guys then. Have a great night. Take care, guys. See you.
Throughout the whole course, there were a lot of irritations. This one game I was playing against strong Czech Grandmaster, Indian International Master Bharat.
Magesh took over in his group classes. Once he reached
This kid, is super talented.
He's really good at calculating. He's really good at the openings.
I think 2700 is gettable in another 3 years.
Okay, so let's send a challenge.
Here is challenging me. Nice graphics, easy to see. Oh, what are you thinking about? You're looking how it can be the most painful?
Exactly. Okay, fine.
That I give him up a phone. He wants to be even rude.
Welcome to the new Chess24 playing experience. Play in light mode or dark mode. Choose from a range of time controls or create a custom game and get paired with players from around the world fast. Enjoy a polished playing experience while making moves on a fresh, responsive board to claim your victories. Train and improve with over 80,000 puzzles. And that's not all. Download now and discover what more you can enjoy in our brand new app.
He played the Berlin, which I sort of expected, but I didn't really know what to do against, because in reality very few people do.
When we are playing an even game against someone of similar strength to us, usually we need to give something in order to obtain the initiative.
Just how shrewd and cunning Alireza can be, even with very little time.
I want to show you a game just to prove that I play these lines that I played against former world number 2 and a bit of a superstar, Vachier-Lagrave.